Alright, today we're going to do something a little bit different and do a quick review on the WorkSharp knife and tool sharpener here I picked up. Now this, you can find these if you have a local Rural King. I think Cabela sells them also, or you can get them online. Paid around $80 for it. I figured I'd go ahead and review it and show the use of it on the channel. Guns and knives go hand in hand, and I'm not a big knife guy, but I use them enough to where I wanted to be able to sharpen my own, and you can do, more than just knives with this particular sharpener, so I wanted to show, how it works and everything. So we'll go ahead and open it up here. I've already had it open. Pull it out and show you what you get. Of course, you get an instruction manual. This cardboard insert in here tells you, a little bit about it. Kind of a quick start guide to what you're sharpening, what guides to use. So we'll go ahead and set that over here. A little bit of other reading material they got. You got some different sanding belts or belts. You got the green one. Let's see, green, red, and purple they call. More gray to me, but green is an 80 grit, red is a 220, and the purple is a 6,000, so it's more of a honing belt. Then you got the actual sharpener itself. Now, if you do have a Rural King, at least the two that I've been in locally, they have one of these on their display, and you can actually, take your knife in there and sharpen it. There's also a knife in there that was going to sharpen also. So, of course, 110 plug-in. Now, it seems pretty solid out of the box. It does say in the manual, this isn't a belt sander. It's not something you want to use for, it says more than 20 minutes within an hour period. So I think for most general purpose use that you should be using it for, that'd be fine. So it comes with a red 220 grit sanding belt on there already, which is what they recommend for most of your knives. Starting off, the 80 grit they have is like for axes and hoes and things like that. It's just you don't want to use your regular pocket knives or your cutlery knives for your kitchen with the 80 grit. So you start with 220 and either leave it at 220 or go down and hone it down with the 6,000, the purple grit. So when you get it out of the box, it comes with this guide on it already. Now the first guide that they have on there is for kitchen knives, fillet knives, things like that. And then you also have, let me go ahead and open this up. Another guide that you can put on there for serrated knives, knives and scissors. And this just pulls off there. And then you can set this guide on there, and it's got a little place where it slides down in there. So kind of, if you can get it in there. Just like that, just kind of slides down in the front, and now you can, it's also magnetized, so you can rest it on the guide itself. I feel like I'm not doing that right for some reason. There we go. It goes on the back side. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm looking at it backwards. So you got this way, different degrees. So you got 25 degrees this side, 25 on this side, 65 on the bottom side. Like I said, they're magnetized, so it kind of puts your knife at the perfect angle. Now the bottom one is for scissors, so or serrated knife. Sorry, scissors is the middle one here. So let's go ahead. Well, you know what? I'll show you how to change out the a couple things about it. First, how to change the pad out. You can pull this down and rotate it, and and it locks down. Just turn it a quarter turn, and then you can take off the belt. It's got 2 pulleys down here, so when you put a new one on, yeah, I don't need to do that, but you can tell, you just kind of pop it down in there on both sides. Get it lined up on here, turn it to let it come back, and then just kind of line it up. Now it's on there. So you got both guides, and then you can also, it's got a lever on the front, and you slide that over, you can rotate this forward. So this is to use it like an actual, for more of sharpening tools, things like that you, lawnmower blades, something like that, you put in a vise, and you can go ahead and use it like this instead of actually it being on the bench. So that's pretty cool. It doubles, you know, I got it not just for sharpening knives, but for other small things that require a belt sander, a small belt sander, little parts or something like that, little screw heads. We'll go ahead and plug it in. Yeah, excuse me, go back here. Maybe. Got my shoot table's too close to the outlet. So we'll go ahead and slide this back on. Let me get the camera adjusted here. Slide the guide back on. Now I got an old Kershaw knife that I found. I haven't used for years. It's pretty tattered up. It's not sharp anymore whatsoever. I also got this CRKT. I kind of sharpened earlier to get an idea. And then, but this one I want to try out and see where we can get it at. Obviously, it's not. It's just unlike, you know, say this one. So we'll try to get it. Hopefully, we can get it to that point where it'll cut paper like that. So now that we got it plugged in, I'll also show you on the bottom. It's got a rocker switch, so it's got either back towards you, you can hold it and keep it on, or if you flip it forward, you can let go of the button and keep it on constant. So we'll go ahead, I'll show you. Put this back here so it's out of the way and safe. I'll show you how to start here. So let's see. Let's see which way I want to go first. This kind of set the knife in like this. Now they say what you want to do is go about 1 second per draw, and you want to do with the coarse paper about 5 draws per side. So we'll go ahead and fire it up. It's starting to want to come off there. Make sure that it's all the way set back in the back. There we go. Go ahead and turn it on. Set the knife down in the track and pull back. That's on one side, so you kind of want to burr up one side and then you can go to the other. Okay. Yeah, that put a decent edge back on it, actually. That did pretty good. So let's see, from here you could go to the 6,000 and use the purple to hone it down to get even sharper. Or if it is as bad as this one was, probably go ahead back and start another round. So I'll go ahead and show you a different angle. And the way I see it with the blade, how this blade kind of curves up, you want to follow that same blade, or that same way, so you kind of rotate it out like so. Okay, I definitely put an edge back on it. Now it's still a little rough. This blade's been through about everything. Obviously, the tips even broke off there a little bit. So we'll go ahead and pull this one off. Push this down and twist till it locks in place. Pull the 220 belt off and put on a honing belt, the 6,000. And the same thing, we just go ahead and slide it around the bottom pulleys. Make sure it's back all the way on there. And push down a little bit and let it pop up and grab it. And this belt, I mean, it feels kind of like almost rubber. See, it wants to slide off there. There we go. I'll put the guide back on. Go ahead and do the other side. Keep it against the back of this. And come out, go straight up. That feels pretty good. So if you see down in here, it's got a track where you can set it. So when I'm putting the knife in there, I'm drawing it along that track. So say a knife like this, I would want to pull out and kind of draw up with it. Or say this one here, draw out and kind of, you want to keep the same flow going. Now if you have a flat knife, you just want to draw straight back. So let's see where we're at. See if we can maybe get some paper cut. I don't feel like it's that sharp, but yeah, it is though. A different side here. It's definitely a lot sharper than it was. So, you know, if you're an avid knife collector and you're really into super sharp knives, and maybe this isn't for you, but for, I guess, an average everyday guy that, you know, likes to carry a knife that's not a box cutter, and likes to have it sharp, then I think this is a perfect tool. And it's for $80, you can even get it cheaper out there. You know, it's a nice tool to have around the house for scissors or, you know, your kitchen knives and things like that. And for, you know, maybe even small gun parts. If there was going to be sanding involved on a screw head or something that's all boogered up, you know, this would be perfect because, like I said, you can pull this off and still use it this way. So I'm happy with it. I think it was a good investment. You know, the instruction manual will show you more about how to use everything. It shows you how to use for you know, fillet knives, things like that, grinding and deburring. You got sharpening scissors, sharpening tools like axes and lawnmower blades. And it's also got a section for serrated knives. So it will do serrated knives also, or half serrated. You know, it's a great tool to have around the house. You know, I'm happy with it. You know, I'm going to try out a few more knives, but I think what I took this one to be in, you know, almost a flat end, no more edge on it. You know, it brought it back pretty well, you know, back to being actually a functioning knife. So besides the tip being gone on this knife, it does pretty well. This one I brought back into action. I sharpened it earlier, but I didn't go back and hone it, so I'll go through that process again here. Go ahead and turn it on. Oh yeah, that made it a lot better. Maybe this isn't the